The room 7 stood before me, scarred, clawed, breathing with something alive inside. The brass key trembled in my hand, pulsing like a heartbeat. I turned it. The door creaked open, revealing not a room, but a hallway, long, endless, lined with doors. The carpet beneath my shoes squished, soaked in something wet. The air smelled of mold and blood. Weird sounds were coming from each room, no sound from one room. I pressed my ear to the first door, but the second door rattled violently. Seems something inside is throwing itself at it. Behind the third, an innocent children's laughter twisted giggles echoing too long. And the fourth door was a mirror. But it wasn't my reflection. It saw my mama's face in the mirror. "Mama, what are you doing here?" Mama smiled at first, then started crying. Then all of a sudden reflection changed to my father and then to my brother. How come I see their faces here? All of them had died 2 years back in a horrible traffic accident on the same highway. Their car was found far from here, but their bodies not missing. But there was a dead man was found a few meters away from the car, whose record check, later, and revealed a criminal record. Since then, it was a mystery where Tony and my parents had gone. Now that the mystery is resolved. It seems I was called in purposely. All of a sudden, their reflections, pale and trembling, from inside the glass, and then vanished. I saw my own image, now same, pale and trembling face, like theirs. I shouted, "Baba, Tony, where were you, and how come you were here?" "My son, the same way that you got in here," my father's voice echoed from the other side of the hallway. The whispers crawled from door to door, blending into one voice. "Stay. Stay with us. We know you, Michael. You belong to us. You are our family. Stay with us." At the end of the hallway, I saw a glowing mirror. A sound came. "Run, my son, and pass through this mirror." It was my father's voice. Then, big noise erupted from everywhere. Everybody was screaming and shouting and calling my father's name. Seems like they were upset at my father. My only way out was that mirror. I ran. All doors slam open all at once, and lots of shadows pour out of each door. The doors burst open. Shadows spilled into the corridor, black liquid crawling, twisting into broken faces. One of them whispered in my mother's voice, "Run, son." Another of my father's, "It's not safe here, my son. Run fast." I kept running because staying in this motel means death, and I don't want to die now. A shadow grabbed my ankle, yanking me down. My face hit the wet carpet. I was dragged toward an open door. Inside, a spiral staircase leading down, each step littered with brass keys marked Room 7. I screamed and called my father for help. I saw a shadow of my father who was standing in front of those scaring devils. I had little time, so I got up and started running again. I ran and dove into the glowing mirror and crashed into the motel lobby. A burned lobby, ceiling blackened. Behind the counter stood the same woman with long black hair. She smiled. "Welcome back. Please stop running. You are getting tired for nothing. Cannot go out anymore. Stop running, my friend." Flames erupted from east of the lobby, swallowing the walls. The fire spread very fast and got very close to me in a few seconds. I coughed, choking, searching for an exit. But the doors were gone. Windows bricked shut. My God, help me to get out of this hell. I pleaded, crying. I felt the journal still in my pocket. Desperate, I slammed the journal against the wall. The wall tore open. I forced myself through, tearing skin and clothes. I landed in the mud beside my car. Hope this is not a trick this time. Rain poured down. The motel behind me stood whole, neon sign buzzing. I jumped into the driver's seat, but the engine was shut off and the keys were inside the ignition. I tried to start the car, but the keys were jammed into the ignition. When I noticed the steering was just melted into my hands, fusing with my skin. I screamed, pulling, tearing, blood slick on the leather. The headlights started flickering automatically, spelling words in the rain. You belong to us. Stay, stay with us. I opened my car door and jumped out of my car, and instead of parking lot, I landed in the hallway of the motel. I was back again. What is happening? It was like a loop. No matter how many times I ran, it reset. The motel wasn't letting me go. My father whispers in my ear, "Threw away this journal. It is not letting you go." I took the journal from my pocket and brought it near the fire to burn it. All of a sudden, someone pushed me into the fire and grabbed the journal from my hand. I hit the burning wall very hard, like my face passed through the wall, and I can see inside the room. Lots of scary faces. I closed my eyes and pushed myself out of the wall and noticed that the journal fluttered open, pages turning on their own. A new sentence appeared, written in black ink that dripped like blood. "If you want to leave, give the motel a name, a spirit in your place." I froze. My hands shook. A name? Who? I remember the name of that criminal guy who stole my parents' car and was found dead near their car. I knew all the details about that man. I said, "If I give you a name, you let me go." Yes, a big sound came. "Okay, the name is John Steward." "What is his mother's name?" "Stacy Jackson." Then the walls immediately bent, doors slammed, and then I saw him. This was John, for sure. I saw him dead before, and now alive. John said, "Where am I?" "You are in a place where you should be for a long time, John," I replied. The motel whispered, "Welcome, John, to Lake View Motel community. You are part of us now." The walls cracked, split open with fire and smoke. Shadows grabbed John and took him along. John cried, "Don't touch me. Where are you taking me?" They did not listen and dragged him along. Now the motel stared vanishing from one side. I can see it happening in front of me, few meters away. I ran through the collapsing corridor and then passed through that glowing mirror and jumped out. And then I was outside, for real this time. The motel was gone. Only burned grass and a rusted sign remained, swaying in the storm. My car headlights glowed faintly in the rain. The engine is still humming. When I checked, all was good inside my car. No blood, no melted steering. I drove. I didn't look back. They found me collapsed on the roadside. Doctors said exhaustion, dehydration, and trauma. For weeks, I couldn't sleep. The whispers followed me into my dreams. Therapy, medication. Slowly, I learned to laugh again, to live again. Because on stormy nights, when the thunder rolls and the rain hammers my window, I still hear it. That faint buzz of neon. And I swear, if I look out into the dark, I'll see room 6 and room 7. That was tonight's horror. But it's only the beginning. Every week, new shadows, new stories, new screams. Stay with us and subscribe and never miss what's waiting in the dark.